Okay, so this problem 339, nested list weight sum, medium difficulty. You're given a nested list of integers. Each element is either an integer or a list whose elements may also be integers or other lists. The depth is the number of an integer is the number of lists that it is inside of. So for this nested list, has each integer's value set to its depth. So this depth 1, these have depth 2 because they're within a list of a list. This is step 3 because it's within a list of this entire list, and then 2's within a list of this list, and then 1's only within this single list. So return the sum of each integer multiplied by its depth. So these are depth 2, this is depth 1, these are depth 2. So then it's going to be 2 times 1, 4 times, and 2 times 1 again, so that's 10. Here we have 1, 4 times 2, 3 times 6, so that's 27. Okay. Okay, so if we go with this example here, the 1, the 2, 2, the 3 and the 2, it's just a 3 here, and then the 1. So then it basically consists of 1, 2, 2, 3, and a 2, and then just the 1. So we know this 1 is integer, is true. So then it's just going to be 1 times the depth, which is 1. Then here, this 2, 2 is integer, false. So then we're also going to increase the depth. So then now we got, this is just 2 and a 2. So 2 by itself is integer, is true. So the value 2, and then its depth is also 2. So then it's 2 times 2. Same with here. Then you got this is integer, is false. So increase the depth by 1. So now we got the list of 3 and then number 2. So the list of 3, we know the depth of that. And we know the integer is going to be false because it's contained within the list. So then increase the depth by 1. And now you got just a single value of 3. This integer will be true. Is within, it has depth 3 and then value 3. And the 2 just by itself is an integer. So it's 2 times 2. And the 1 by itself is just going to be 1 times 1. So then you basically just do the sum of all of this. So then when you look at this, we're basically checking first if it's an integer. If it is, then you just multiply the depth by the value. The next element here, the 2, 2, is integer, is false. So then that's why now we're going to look at, we're basically going to put this list of 2, 2 back into this original function depth sum as like a recursion. And then you look at each element individually. 2 is an integer, and so is this 2. Then you look at this 3, 2. The whole thing's not integers, and then you pass in the whole thing as a recursion to this depth sum again. So now you get this list 3 that's also not an integer, pass it into recursion. Then you get 3 integer, 2 is integer, and so on. So it looks like this is going to be return self.recursion nested list, and then we need the depth. So originally the depth is going to be 1. Then we're going to have recursion self nested list and the depth for I in range length of nested list. If nested, we can call, just to make this a little simpler, we want to keep typing out nested list of I each time. We can call this x equals nested list of I. Okay, so if x dot is integer, then we're gonna have like a total value, so it's gonna be 0 initially. Then you increment total by the depth, times x, and then so we have is integer, and then now we have get integer. And then if it's not an integer, then total plus equals to self.recursion x, and then depth plus 1, and then you return the total. And in this case, x, you had to get integer, so in this case it will be x.getList. And that should do it. So depth 1 here, nested list, total 0, nested list of I of x is integer, depth x get integer, x.getList, depth plus 1. Yeah, looks good. And passes all test cases. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching.